on Monday, you told me that by midnight Friday night, you want to be 2-0 in the Mountain West Conference. How good does it feel to be at that point to reach that goal?
Feels really good because that was the only goal that we had for the whole week, and it was so team-related. And, we beat it by a couple hours. We got it at 10 o'clock out here, and we are 2-0 in the Mountain West. And anytime you can win on the road, it's a tremendous accomplishment in the league. And that's the only way you'll have a chance in November to be playing for a championship is to win on the road.
Well, how good was it to see your team respond after a loss like they had at USC to come back with such a strong performance?
Well, excuse me, I don't have much voice left. I thought it would happen because of the way they prepared during the week. It was very, very similar to Air Force Week, coming off the physical and emotional loss, SC, just like Utah, and then having to go play on the road in the Mountain West Conference. I thought they started preparing well. All week they had a really good week of practice, and I thought they won the game during the week.
Your defense, they hadn't had an interception quite yet, but, building off that second half against USC, the way they played, they come out again, and against a quarterback like David Fales, they only allow 6 points, 3 interception against him. How well is this defense playing right now?
They're playing really well. They're playing with a lot of confidence. And again, this is 2 or 3 weeks in a row, extremely good in the red zone. And they just shut teams down. They shut San Jose down in the red zone and forced some a turnover and then forced some field goals. And that allowed us to dictate what we wanted to do on offense. So I'm really proud of Coach Orlando and that whole staff and our defense led by those 2 inside linebackers.
And to even do it on a national stage as well, your team has been back-to-back great performances with this national exposure. How great has that been, and have you had that in your mind as you guys have been doing this?
You don't think about that in the middle of the game. When you're on the sidelines, and then I think about it when guys like you, bring it up. So it's really good for us as a program to be able to play that well on national television in front of everybody. And the high school players out on the East Coast, hopefully they saw that when they got back home. So I'm just proud of our guys. It was a great effort tonight.
One of the guys that's been having a really good couple of weeks, Chucky does what he's been doing, and one of the guys he's been throwing to, Travis Reynolds, he had a career week last week, and he follows it up again with another career week. What have you seen from him? I mean, how great is it to see him kind of really embracing that number one receiver role and having games like this?
Yeah, what he's done is he's been a great leader in that receiver meeting room, and then he's been a great practice player. And I'm a firm believer when you're a great leader, you're a great practice player, and you continue to be a film junkie, on game day, all it does, is reflects your preparation and your practice throughout the week. And I think that's what you're seeing right now with Travis Reynolds. He's become a really, really good practice player, great leader. Everything that he does is first class, and I think all you're seeing is a direct result of that.
Tonight, a little bit of misfortune with Kyle Wimpy, and it's looking like he's not going to be back for the rest of the season. Can you tell me a little bit about Kyle and what his loss to this team means?
Well, it's going to be a big hole to fill. We'll see exactly where he's at throughout the weekend, but that's a kid that I love to death, and care factor is off the charts. He's one of the mainstays up there with those guys. So we're going to have to pull up, and we're going to have to bond together, and that's a group that has to communicate together. They have to bond well together, and so we're going to have to move on.
You've made it through the first part of your schedule now, these first 5 games. You've had 4 in the row, but you come through with a winning record. Where do you see your team at right now, and are you happy with where they're at now coming home for these next couple of games?
Well, I'm really happy because we're 2-0 in the Mountain West, and at the end of the day and at the end of the year, that's what we're worried about the most. And so we're going to come back, and we're going to go back into, out of the Mountain West and go play a non-league in-state foe. We all know it's going to be a really physical game. It's going to be a really emotional game. It's going to be a packed house in Romney. We'll have a home field advantage. The crowd will be crazy. And I know we'll get their very best shot, and I promise you they'll get our very best shot.